What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Cantina Jargon. I am Joe with Jargon, joined by Caden from Cantina
What's going
Talk,
on?
and we are discussing Bad Batch episode 4, and we got some other Star Wars news. Not maybe as many juicy items as we have occasionally, but let's. Should we start with the news or should we start with Bad Batch? I'll let you decide.
We can start with Bad Batch if you want, because it's the most fresh, the big thing. So
It is the thing, right? I mean, it's the only thing we have right
yeah,
now.
until Acolyte the summer, yeah.
Yeah, Acolyte in the summer, and then hopefully I'm thinking Skeleton Crew in the winter, although
Yeah,
we've got some news that says Andor, so we'll see.
which I mean, I wouldn't mind Andor for like October to December show. But then I can see them doing Skeleton Crew beginning of 2025.
Yeah, like a January 2025
Yeah,
thing.
or even the February 18th. I know that they have used that in the past.
Oh yeah. I think that'd be cool. I'd be fine with it too, obviously, if it gets pushed a little bit, especially because we have no Mandoverse content this year. So, or really next year.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not getting a whole lot regardless.
Till 2026 when the movie comes out. So
yeah, and then 2027 or later for Dave's movie.
Oh my gosh, it's like years away. It feels like it's years away at this point.
We'll look back on it though in 2 months.
Maybe, yeah. Let's talk about Bad Batch though. So episode 4, we see Crosshair and Omega kind of on the run from the Empire. They end up on this planet. Do you even know what planet it was? I don't know if it had any significance or anything. Did it have any kind of significance to the greater lore, from your understanding?
I'm not entirely sure. I just know I believe it would have been either just a town, but I'm right. The captain saying Lao, so you don't know if that's the planet or if that's just that part of the planet. But I just remember him saying gambling is outlawed in Lao or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, I think so. Anyway, so basically, yeah, we got Crosshair and Omega. It was kind of it was a side quest episode a little bit, but it was really them getting to Hunter and to Wrecker, and I think that was obviously the core of the episode, and it really set up some stuff for next week. So, I mean, overall, I'll give kind of my opinions first in the episode. It was good. They kept a pretty serious tone, even though Omega kept trying to save this hound for some reason.
Yeah, Batcher.
Other than that, it kept a pretty serious tone, which is cool. Sorry, cat's in the way. But yeah, I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love it. It wasn't as good as the first 3 episodes to me, but I think it really set up, kind of a great situation for next week. I really Hunter and Wrecker did not seem happy.
Wrecker looked like you wanted to kill him at first,
yeah.
Which when I first watched that scene, I started getting a little bit teary eyed, and then up until when I saw Wrecker go in guard mode when he saw Crosshair come down, I was just like, oh shit,
yeah, I don't think him and Hunter are too happy with Crosshair, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think? What do you think happens from here?
I mean, I definitely think that they're gonna be very skeptical of him, and that he's gonna be either being he's either gonna say that he wants to be back with them, or he's gonna want to go on his own. But I definitely could see them being very standoffish at first, and him having to earn their trust. But him already helping Omega escape is part of earning their trust.
Yeah, now that you mention, I think he's probably gonna go on his own.
That's because that's how he I know he doesn't feel like the Batch is his home anymore. He just feels like an outcast.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like they're his brothers or anything. He said that, Yeah. So,
I mean, I could see him going with Rex, but I could also really not see him going with Rex too.
Right. There's Bad Batch Season 3 is the adventure of Tinkerbell and Man Bear Pig. I have spoken. Man Bear Pig.
This is the South Park.
Omega definitely is I don't mind Omega as a character, but it's the fact that she's willing to make I mean, they're literally fighting for their survival in this episode, and she's willing to make dumb decisions to be no, I gotta save this animal I just met a few weeks ago.
At this point, though, I mean, she was there for 6 months with Badger, like
Oh,
every
that's
single day for
true.
6 months.
Yeah, with the time jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
But like, I just feel like it's very to her character though. Like that's how
It's
Omega
on
is.
brand.
That's how
Yeah.
she's been, and clearly she hasn't learned. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of
That's
expected it just because it's Omega, but
yeah, I mean I could agree with that at this point. I mean, it's just that's Omega. It's on character. It's it's in character at least for her. So,
yeah,
I mean, what were your thoughts on the episode overall compared to 1 through 3 and stuff like that?
I definitely didn't mind it. I don't know. I almost wish we didn't spend so much time like with I don't know, like being in that town. I feel like there other things could have happened like with Hemlock, like trying to search for them stuff. Like I feel like that town should have been like a 5 to 10 minute ordeal, and that was it.
Yeah, I kind of
Like
feel the same way. But I mean, they have to make a full episode,
yeah.
and that was the episode, right?
Well,
So
and it was cool seeing like Omega's like callback to like her and Sid playing cards. So like
yeah, right. So Clark did say, "How does a child clone dominate grown men at a card game all of a sudden?" This isn't all of a sudden, actually.
yeah, she's been
So
doing this. Sid taught her how to cheat in card games.
yeah,
I think in
so
season
that
two,
was
yeah,
in season 2. Yeah, so Sid played with her a lot, and Sid obviously is a swindler and kind of
yeah,
showed it kind of showed Omega the tricks there. So that actually didn't bother me at all. That totally made sense. I think that was a good callback.
yeah.
Um, learned skills, using learned skills, not just all of a sudden you're great at everything kind of thing. So I totally appreciate that. And I like the long form storytelling that the Bad Batch
Yeah.
is doing. Like there's a lot going on. So there is going to be some episodes that people may call filler, right? And I don't really necessarily think this was filler because something very important
No.
happened at the end.
Yeah.
But a lot of people might see it that way is what I'm saying. And I don't
It's
mind a show
yeah.
like that. Like I miss the days of being able to watch a 20 season Star Trek or whatever. We just
Yeah.
don't get that anymore. So,
Like
um,
it definitely was more like on like the like filler side of things, but it wasn't like full on just a side quest. Like full like it wasn't like a full on filler like how it's been in the
right,
past. Like
right.
with like the Test sisters. Like it was at least in Clone Wars season 7, like at the end with the Martez twins, like or not twins
Yeah,
sisters.
yeah. That was like 3 episodes
Yeah,
of
like that was full just straight
completely
filler.
filler. Yeah, yeah.
This is more just like prolonging the story a little bit and giving more
Right,
character development to Crosshair and Omega's relationship.
right. No, I agree. It definitely humanizes Crosshair a little more too.
Yeah,
To see him kind of actually react to Omega in this way because in episode 1 he's like, I would leave you here, basically. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And obviously that's not the case anymore. So there's a little
It's
bit
changed
of growth
episode by
there.
episode. Like
Yeah,
when they escaped, like he thought about it, but then didn't. And then with
right,
this one, he's not leaving her this time.
right,
Like
right. And he's actually, in fact, helping her with what she
yeah,
wants to do,
and
which is
he's
save the
like
hound and all that stuff. Yeah,
he's going with her side of things, even though he keeps like reminding her like I feel like my skill set's not being used. I really like though,
hmm
like at the end when she was like, let's try it your way, and he's like, finally, like I
yeah.
didn't turn out like he was just waiting for it, like
He's like, all right, I guess I'll do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't think it's filler. The long form TV just works. I mean, I wish that Ahsoka was 16 episodes.
yeah.
So,
I wish every
and
single Mandal season's been 16 episodes. We'd have double the
right,
seasons right now.
and we can have episodes that aren't, complete banger episodes, but when you're only getting 8 episodes in a season,
Yeah,
Jesus.
when or
Yeah.
like Kenobi with 6, like
Right, like, it better be fire the entire time,
yeah,
or we're gonna be disappointed because you only have so many episodes.
like of 12 to 16 episodes, throw in 2 filler episodes. I don't care because we're still getting like at least 11 good episodes.
Right,
Like
exactly,
and they're
exactly.
gonna be like banger episodes.
I see, it's like Andor. Andor's 12 episodes. I don't think every episode's, like, an absolute banger. I just think that by time you get to the last 3 episodes, you're like, "This shit is crazy." You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I think like when he first got when the episode first started with him getting arrested and everything, from that start through the rest of the show, I was like, this
Yeah.
show's fucking incredible. Like this is
Yeah.
insane.
It pretty much when they got to with
Yeah.
the arresting, going to the prison and everything, Here, Clark, I got here this for you. Boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah. That's my Picard and Data right there. Big fan of Star Trek as well. But that's what I love. Like I love watching those 20 episode seasons, and hell yeah, like tons of the next gen is just complete trash and filler. But I mean, overall, like you love the characters. You get so much more time with them when you're getting these long form TV shows. So I'm glad that the Bad Batch has stuck with doing the 16 episodes a season instead of, gone down to 10 or something like that.
That's how I feel with with Rebels. Like the very beginning, it was very like filler, but there was also like a lot of character development. And then when season 2 started, we got 23 episodes, or either 23 or 25. No, yeah, 23. We got 23 episodes in season 2, with the Twilight Apprentice being split between 2. And like after that, like
right,
episodes were long, and I was like it was like long and drawn out.
Yeah,
and it really made it like, I don't know, like mature in a way.
Right, I think you just understand like character motivations and emotions so much better when you get the time that is part of this like side quests, you know what I mean? Or what people might call filler. That's when you really that's when you like really learn more about the characters, and like you said, you can grow like attached to them. So I don't know. I mean, that's my thoughts. But hey, Quinlan, hello there. Thank you for joining the chat. So that's what we got for episode 4. I don't know. Do you have any more thoughts, really? I mean, like I said, it's pretty simple overall. I mean, we can definitely get into the news, and I do want to talk about Dune a little bit. I don't want any spoilers, but you just saw Dune like hours ago.
Yeah, 3 p.m. and got done at like 6:15.
I am so ready to see this movie, but let's save that for last. Let's get into some Star Wars news. Well, we got a comment from Clark here I want to read. What made Rebels was the inclusion of classic characters like Wedge, Maul, Vader, Lando, and Leia, integrated with the newer characters.
Even Hondo too, like bringing Hondo in from Clone Wars, like it's just like call-ins and tiebacks with Ahsoka too. Like it's like making everything reconnect to what we've already seen to make it feel closer.
It really worked. I will say that. The Leia one was probably the one for me the most. I was like, we don't really need that, just because like, I'm fine with Leia's story. Like she's just kind of a sheltered child on whatever it's called. Alderaan. Christ. She's just like a sheltered child on Alderaan, and eventually she gets mixed up in the rebellion, which I kind of like that story, but I'm cool with it. Like it was cool seeing her. Wedge, awesome. Love that arc.
Yeah.
Love the Wedge arc. Maul was amazing. Vader was amazing. And then Lando was great in it. He had a few episodes, I think he was in it. So.
Yeah, Lando was kind of like starting to become like a returning character.
Right.
And also like even like, I don't know, like for me, like anytime I saw As Morgan, I was like, all right, well, we're dealing with this asshole again. Like it's like those characters that like make an appearance and then keep returning throughout the show to like at like crucial points. I'd say that like and really special.
Yeah, Clark's right though. Like that, it's almost like validation for the new characters though. When the old characters, interact with them and stuff. Now
intermingle with each other.
Yeah, but it has to be done true to like those characters. And I'm talking about the sequels most likely because when we see Rey interacting with Luke, like that's not the Luke we want to see or the Luke we know. And now like, there's animosity towards Rey because of it. So in Rebels though, we're seeing our characters like Ezra and I don't know, Sabine even and stuff like that, interacting, and Ahsoka interacting with Vader and, all this stuff. You're seeing them. Oh, even Kenobi was in it. Remember the Ezra Kenobi?
God. Twin Sons. Yeah.
God, what a freaking great episode with Maul and Kenobi.
Yeah. And especially with Maul just like literally like losing his mind out in Tatooine. Like,
yeah. But like when Ezra's in that episode, like it feels earned. Like, and it, Kenobi is Kenobi and Kenobi is Kenobi. So it's not like, he doesn't approach Kenobi and Kenobi's like, nah, I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. Like, go away. Like, he's like,
Yeah, I don't know
look, like I'm
kind of
on
whale meat, dude. Like,
right.
like
He's like, I'm on my path. You're on your path. And I have to stay here. And he like explains it in a way that makes sense and that we know makes sense. So
Sam, like I would say even like Sam Witwer said it best. Like he's like the strongest Jedi in the galaxy on guard duty. Like
right.
this is the most like important post in the entire galaxy, and he's a Jedi Master on guard duty. Like he's not like.
I like how Maul like recognizes that too.
Yeah, like after he gets hit, like you realizes, oh shit, like that, like maybe this wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, I do think that's part of what makes Rebels great. Yeah, but you have a long seasons, you have a lot of time with these characters, and when they bring in the old characters, the classic characters, it brings a little familiarity to the show. It just works, man. I think that's really the formula that could work for implementing new characters.
Yeah, and especially too like when they do it and like even like with certain fight scenes, like with Kenobi and Maul thing, like it's very like Sirzawa-esque, like where like every single thing is like methodically thought out. It's not just like a show off of like clashing sabers constantly. Like it's very calculated and showing these characters are generally thinking about what's happening. Yeah, showing us that like they're not just like cannon fodder.
Right. I think that makes sense.
At least it's like my one gripe from Clone Wars is that like the lightsaber fights felt too much almost like a dance, rather than it being like
swift. Yeah, actions. Yeah. No, I can agree with that.
But it's not even like poorly done either, though. Like it has its place.
But then, I mean, you're referring to like the amount of times they come across like Dooku, for instance. I mean, that kind of
I'm
thing.
saying like Ventress and Kenobi fighting Maul and Savage Press. Like I feel like that was drawn on way too long. Yeah. But for example, like Clone Wars Season 7, when Ahsoka and Maul are fighting, it felt perfectly paced, and they were taking like it was like a mental game. They're taking their time, and it's not just like nonsensely like swinging your saber around like Rey was doing.
Right.
At least to me, anyway. I could be completely wrong, but that's just how I feel about it.
No, I actually agree completely. That's one of the reasons I really like the Maul Kenobi fight in Rebels is like, I mean, to be honest, that's what I expect most lightsaber fights to be like, because I mean, this is a plasma like beam coming out of a freaking hilt. Like it will slice right through you. Like if someone makes contact, like it's over. Now, two very trained Jedi going at it, Kenobi versus Anakin and Revenge of the Sith, like they had trained so much together that they're matched. It's going to be a long fight. It's going to be grueling, but in the end of the day, he still lost his legs and arms. So it's like
I would even say like during the entire fight, Kenobi still had the upper hand because he's like a master at defense. He was letting Anakin's aggression like take charge, and he was like anticipating what he was going to do based off of that.
Right, so, like, Anakin was like going too hard, basically.
Yeah, he was like he knew that he was like using that rage, and that rage was going to be his weakness because he'd make those mistakes trying to just overswing or just be more powerful. So like even though like he's on the run the entire time, he's still in charge of the fight. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think he really is. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's really ever any point in that fight where Kenobi is like compromised and there's like he might die. Like
I'm thinking maybe like when like he kicks Anakin and Anakin has a saber, but even then like Kenobi already has a way out of it.
Right.
So like
exactly.
And he had the high ground. Yeah, exactly.
He had the high ground. That's right. So that's a good point though about like the kind of it's just like the way they pace the action and stuff like that. So
and like they did it perfectly in Mando season 2 with Ahsoka and Magistrate Morgan Elsbeth. Like like they could have just been like took it back to the prequels, but they didn't.
No, when Ahsoka turned it on, man, it was like that fight was over.
I feel like her with Anakin though was a little like kind of like more like the sequel fighting style.
But
Hayden tried to bring it back.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I see Hayden like and he's doing the spins and all that shit, like it makes me like it. It brings me back to the prequels a little bit. So I think he still has that, that training in him, and that's never going to go away. So
Yeah.
even though, yes, I agree, a lot of like, I don't know what it is. It's like the slow clashes of like the sequels. Like it's almost like there's like a weight to it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also too, like, for me, it seems like they're just swinging like hockey sticks around, like
right,
like they're not like methodically, like I'd think about it like almost like fencing, like you're wanting to just get those quick strikes in instead of like swinging it like you're like, I don't know, like, yeah, like a hockey stick, like,
yeah,
I don't know, it seems like very like careless with it, but there's also
no, I
like no,
agree.
like there's also like no consequences for it though either.
Right,
So
right,
because like if like Dooku made a mistake, he got his hands chopped off,
and his
like
head.
like yeah. I mean that's afterwards. I mean like to like disarm him anyway. Like
no, but right, yeah, it's like that's what I like that prequel fighting style because it is more like we may be matched in terms of the force and everything like that, but we're both looking for an opening. Anakin loses a hand, Dooku loses 2 hands, Anakin loses his legs. Like
Dooku
it
loses his
happens.
head.
Like there's consequences, right? Like in these fights. So I agree with that. I don't want to see a bunch of lightsaber fights where there's no consequences. I mean, dude, the fights in the sequels.
I'm thinking
So
like on the water and Rise, like that was really bad.
oh my, well, I told you I watched Rise after.
Yeah, did you ever finish it?
Holy shit, dude! I did. I finished it, and I literally immediately started A New Hope. I was like, I need to cleanse myself. Like that was horrible. I honestly, like, I haven't seen it in years, so like it gets worse every time I see it. Like I'm like, holy shit, this is so bad. Holy shit! What a movie, dude, and not in a good way. What a movie! like what?
It's a spectacle for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, you get done with the movie, and you're like, how did any executive say like, we got it, like put this in the theater? It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know who was like, I mean, I don't know if they showed like Star Wars movies like Tribeca or anything, but like who had whatever like the film like festivals like, yeah, this is a great movie. Like, yeah, we need to fund this. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Dude, it's crazy. I mean, that movie is like, it's just a bad movie. It's not even like it's a bad Star Wars movie, but it is just a bad movie, straight up.
Well, like the reason I think why they don't really care is because Force Awakens made $2 billion. Last Jedi made 1.3, and this one made $1 billion. So like they're all like $1 billion movies. Like A New Hope did, I think, almost 800 million. So like I think like, they're just looking at the numbers and being like, well, it doesn't really matter because the numbers are still reflecting good. But I think now they're realizing that's not the case.
I mean, the merch sales were worse for sequel stuff. That's a fact. Like toys and stuff like that. They sold really well for Force Awakens. They really dropped off around Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, though. And then to the point where like Hasbro Black Series, like they just stopped making Rise of Skywalker figures. There's only like 2 figures from that movie.
Yeah, isn't it Rey and Finn? I know one of them is like Finn.
There's a Dark Rey, and I think a Finn is the other one. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, out of the hundreds of characters that were in that movie.
Right. So it's like, holy shit, man.
Well, and I definitely think Grogu like revived that with Mando. Like it's almost like they knew what they were doing in a way, because like Grogu just blew everyone through the roof.
Yeah,
with merch sales and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it took off. Like, that was the hottest thing, basically. So everyone's got a little Grogu. I think I have one somewhere back there.
I got several of all the same kind, and then I got like the Valentine's Day ones.
Yeah, everyone's got a little Grogu. Everyone's got to have a Grogu. So it's like, yeah, I mean, that you're right though. Like they just showed up, and Favreau knew what he was doing, man. He knew how to make
He always does though. Like he always has like his way.
Yeah, with Iron Man and Elf, you name it, dude. He's a genius, really. I mean, he really is. Clark says there was no high ground in the sequels.
I mean, I feel like there was at times, but then they just jumped off of it right away. Like,
I mean, yeah,
like they just did like a flip.
Yeah, because go back to that fight on the water in Rise of Skywalker, dude. Rey jumps like 1,000 feet in the air like 3 times during.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is happening?
Even too, like I think like when she was fighting Luke on Octu, like Luke tripped over a fucking step. Like, come on, dude. Like,
I know. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
It's rough, man. I can't believe it. I literally watched it. I literally immediately was like, I need to turn on A New Hope. I need to cleanse myself from that shit. That was horrible.
I'd rather watch Alec Guinness and like go at it in '77 than like
oh yeah,
present stuff. Yeah,
all day, all day.
The Ewoks in the Battle of Endor and the Christmas special was better than the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are hot takes. No. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever watch any of those ever again, and the Rise of Skywalker. So I don't know. I don't think I'll waste my time with any of those ever again.
I mean, you're always gonna see like whenever you watch Return though, you're gonna see the Ewok battle because it's intercut with.
Oh no, he's talking about the Ewoks movie.
Oh,
you ever see the
Battle
Ewoks
for
movies?
Endor? I thought you said Battle of Endor. No, I haven't.
No, Battle for Endor, the Ewoks movie.
No,
it's on Disney Plus, dude. You should watch it.
Okay. Let me go take a look at this.
There's two of them. There's two Ewoks movies. Yeah.
All right.
Dude, they're horrible.
What was it? Is it like just Warwick Davis? Like,
I honestly don't know if he was even. I don't know. Clark, do you know? I have no freaking clue.
Oh wait, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this, dude?
Watch the Ewoks movies, man. They exist. They do exist.
I don't want to. Is that weird? Like I don't want to look at them. Like just seeing this first thing. Like I don't really even want to like nothing interests me off this.
No, it don't. It's so dumb. Honestly, don't waste your time.
Merch sales. Can't sell toys if your character's dead.
All right, let's cover some news. So nobody knows. No one at all knows if Pedro's been cast in the Mando movie. And obviously he's gonna voice the character.
Well, yeah, it's like he doesn't. Nobody knows if he's actually gonna be on set because he has to start like in July. He has to start filming Fantastic Four. He's filming.
I thought they're starting in August. I thought
like that's like the last week. Like it's like I keep getting mixed reports. It's like either like the last week or the first week of August. Like last week of July. Like it's like in that like time frame. And then, but yeah, because the last one will be done by June. No spoilers for that, but like if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And then
June is when Mando starts though. So maybe they're literally just trying to fit it in his schedule. I mean, maybe that's why they're starting in June.
I mean, how long is it going to take him to do scenes where he has to take his helmet off?
Right. I mean, they could probably finish it in a week. So
and then do all this voice work in 3 days.
I mean, dude, the voice work, here's what you do. The guy's on his break over at the Fantastic Four trailer, walk on over with a microphone, get the recordings.
After he has his espresso from Starbucks with like 12 shots in it.
Yeah.
Get the voice all raspy.
Yeah, he'll be. I mean, the voice thing, he could do that from anywhere in the world. So that's not an issue.
I would feel like shit, like being like, wow, the star of the movie can't even show up like on set.
I really think he's going to make an appearance. I just have to believe he's not going to pass up being in. This is the first Star Wars movie since Rise of Skywalker. This is a huge movie for Star Wars. So he's not going to pass it up.
Grogu's name alone is going to bring in at least $400 million.
I kind of have to agree. Yeah, I kind of have to agree.
Do we know the budget for this movie too?
We have no clue, but allegedly it's there was there was a leak-ish that it's going to be lower than a full season of Mando, and a full season of Mando is typically 120 million. So I'm thinking somewhere around the creator, like 80 to 100 million.
I would hope a little bit more than creator, because it says like the budget for the Mandalorian and Grogu would not exceed $120 million.
Right, like it won't be more than what a single season costs. Yeah, which is fine because it's going to be shorter.
I just hope
I'm not concerned about that too much.
Yeah. I just don't want to get like the Kenobi treatment where it's too much of the volume and having to rely too much on the volume for stuff.
Yeah, I really hope not either. But this movie is definitely being filmed. Oh, it says right here in California. Yeah. So it's
probably right by Tony's house, honestly.
Yeah. Glad Tony couldn't be here tonight, it looks like. But but yeah, I mean it's definitely filmed in California. So this is gonna be a lot of studio and backlot. This is not gonna be like on location from from everything we can tell.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that because I mean with Ahsoka, a lot of it was backlot too, but I'm hoping that
Ahsoka looked better than, especially the exterior shots. They looked better than Mando has looked
by far, and it's because they didn't use the volume. Like
they did a lot of green screen, right?
Yeah, green screen, blue screen, and gray screen. Mainly blue and gray. Because that entire where Ahsoka's fighting the Inquisitor for the first time, at like the shipyard, the entire back wall was blue and gray.
Interesting.
And then in the forest, it was all blue too.
Yeah, the forest, man, that looked great. I mean, that looked incredible. You could have told me they were outside. I would have believed it.
I mean, you could have told me like with Guardians 2 how they built the entire forest like in a set piece.
Yeah.
If you would have told me that for Ahsoka, I would have believed you, just because of how like real it looked.
Right. That's what they actually did for Force Awakens too. They didn't use. I don't know if you know this, but in the Force Awakens, the battle in the forest, they did it all indoors. They created the whole forest and they painted the walls to make it look like the forest basically goes on forever.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, they did not use green screen. They painted the walls. Pretty cool, actually. I think that's a really cool technique that kind of is a throwback to maybe the old, kind of the old ways
with the map paintings. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is really cool. JJ really, I think he put a lot of effort into Force Awakens. To do the puppets and the miniatures and mix with CGI and everything. And honestly, I like Force Awakens. I'm not going to say I don't like it. It's really the other two movies that fall flat. And I think it's the fact that he was so rushed with Rise of Skywalker and came on so late into the project that it just was a disaster.
I also feel like too, he just didn't care after him getting like thrown off the second one. I feel like he just didn't care. He's like, well, I can't really make my trilogy anyway. So
I kind of feel like that too. Like he just like shit all over Ryan's movie, which is funny, but
like that's the best thing of it, man.
Yeah, I mean that part's funny, but yeah, I think you're right. I think he kind of just was like whatever at that point. So
yeah,
disappointing, but here we are. So all right. Star Wars Holocron says Andor Season 2 will be released late 2024, early 2025. This is according to Stellan Skarsgård, but we talked about this already. I don't really think this is going to be the case. I think 2025 is like a for sure situation because I think we're going to get Skeleton Crew at the end of the year.
We definitely could get Skeleton Crew. I could definitely see like an October release date for this though. Like, but at the same time,
that would be wild if they already, because they just finished filming like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but they already filmed a bunch of it pre the strikes.
That's true. They were done basically.
I'm looking at like the Deadpool 3 treatment. They just stopped filming 2 weeks ago, and the movie comes out in July. But the entire already half of the movie that they filmed is fully done already.
Yeah, they were probably doing the visual effects as the strikes were happening.
I think that's what Ryan Reynolds said, is that they were like finishing up everything during the strikes. So they had to quickly come in and film, do the last VFX, then get out.
That makes sense.
That's what I'm kind of thinking too, like with Mando and Grogu, like it might be a quick turnaround as well. Just like with like the filming wise anyway. Like I could definitely see us getting a trailer by Celebration next year. Like a teaser trailer. Like with season 3 of Mando, how they did it like a year or so early.
Yeah, I think Celebration is going to be huge next year.
I fucking hope so, dude. Like I really hope so.
I mean, with the year off of Celebration this year, it has to be. It really has to be huge.
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to be. Trying to get to Clark's question over here. What's up with all the cancellations and delays? So
writer strike. Just kind of just put everything on the back burner, and then the actor strike afterwards.
Yeah, and the strikes lasted what? I mean, 5-6 months.
Yeah, like we were supposed to get like 10x amount of shows done like in that time, but with like nothing happening and people trying to release movies without like cast interviews and stuff. Like there was no press for those movies, so they did horrible. So they don't want that to happen again.
Yeah, and I mean, so a lot of stuff's delayed, but look at it this way. I mean, Mando season 4 was supposed to start filming last summer in like August. Yeah. So they didn't do that at all. And then they just straight up were like, nah, we're just doing a movie. So like, I mean, these strikes affected everything pretty negatively, actually, which is really unfortunate. I mean,
but I'd even say too, because like Daredevil Born Again was supposed to come out, this year, in February 21st, like the Bad Batch release date, and then
Yeah,
now it's looking like 2026 at the earliest.
that's so crazy.
They're still filming right now, so like everything got pushed back at like there's a 2 year buffer easily, like we're gonna be waiting on. That's why
Right,
Dave and like
right.
well not Dave necessarily, but like yeah, actually yeah, Dave and John's movie like with Heir to the Empire, it's gonna be a while because yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
I
like
mean,
that.
I originally thought maybe that movie would fill the that movie would fill like kind of the 2026 timeline, but it looks like
Yeah.
they've shifted now, and they're like, okay, no, Mando's going to be that, and then Air is probably going to be 2027. Clark left a meme on Discord. I saw the meme. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Regarding
I
the
saw it earlier.
cancellations.
I saw
Yeah,
it earlier. Haven't been able to see it again.
I think it was in the miscellaneous. Here it is. I'll bring it on screen. Remember when Star Wars games were good? Remember? Oh, I remember. So that's definitely to do with the next piece of news, I think. Let me move it over here. EA canceled Respawn's Star Wars FPS first-person shooter. It was going to be like a Mando style game, allegedly.
Yeah.
Just straight up canceled it, man. I like...
What a bummer.
That's like the one game that sounded cool.
EA making W's anywhere they go, dude. Like, they already ruined Battlefront. Like...
Right.
I really hope that's like not even like Square Enix. I just hope like the studio that does like Insomniac games. I wish they would just take over everything for Star Wars and Marvel. Like they produce such great content in their games.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spider-Man 2 to me was a masterpiece. I know a lot of people had opinions on it, but like I loved Spider-Man 2.
No, they do a great job. So I would agree with that. I will say EA is no longer has exclusive rights. That expired last year. So we should be getting more games, I would imagine, in the near future from other studios. I mean, we can only hope. I mean,
like,
this game was canceled. The KOTOR remake was supposedly canceled.
No, it's still in production. I just saw something to tell you about it. It said that it's still on the go.
I freaking hope so, like, man. I'm like,
but like, yeah, because like Quantum Dream is making like the creators of like Detroit, Detroit Become Human. They're still making Eclipse, which is going to be 10 years before that comes out. So like,
I mean, that's the thing. Are we ever getting Eclipse? Like, I don't know.
Apparently, still 2027. But
I mean, they announced the stuff, and it's just like nothing ever comes of it. It's crazy.
Like, didn't Outlaws get delayed too?
Outlaws got delayed by a few months, I believe, but we're supposedly still getting it this year.
Yeah, so yeah, release date 2024. It doesn't say anything really else on that. But like Outlaws, I'm the most excited for currently, though.
Outlaws is cool. I like that it's like a bounty hunter story, and I also like that it is like it's in the Shadows of the Empire timeline, which is really cool.
Kyle Katarn. That's all I gotta say.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Kyle Katarn. Give me Prince Zizor. Give me Boba Fett.
We're already seeing Boba. He's in the trailer. Like that's guaranteed.
Boba's in the trailer?
Yeah, he's escorting Han and Carbonite behind Jabba.
Oh yeah, the Carbonite situation. Yeah, for sure. And in good news, Jedi 3 is allegedly happening. So.
Let's get it.
Yeah,
I really wonder what Ahmed Best is doing, like with the mocap stuff too.
I know that's the weird thing. I don't know if you saw his actual post, but it said Activision right here, so it could be a game. Also, hard to say. That's Ahmed Best. That's Jar Jar.
The thing that like confuses me the most is that he says Sith Lord. Like, is he just joking about like Jar Jar being the Sith Lord, or is like? Because then Keller.
He also says Keller and Beck.
That's why I'm kind of wondering, like, is this like a
he also says Jar Jar Binks. He might just be
like putting his characters. I'm assuming.
Yeah, kind of putting his characters.
I love that he has the Sopranos quote too from like Silvio, like the Godfather 3 line. Like,
yeah, just thought
it was
like, back in.
Dude, I'm happy.
There he is, man. I am too. I'm glad that he's getting some work. So that's love to see it. Love to see it. The last thing we have, which turned out to be, I guess this is like not true. They're saying now, but supposedly there was a leak that this next Rey movie is going to be called Star Wars Episode 10: A New Beginning, which is a horrible title. We're not beginning like over again with this character. So man, I'm like.
what I saw, what happened was that for example, like with Deadpool 3, they had three different names, like Deadpool Wolverine and Friends, Deadpool and Friends,
Yeah.
and then Deadpool Wolverine, and then Deadpool 3. Like it's the
Yeah,
names that they like
I saw
copyrighted.
those.
So I
Hmm.
think that this might have been one of the names that they had like put in the copyright thing for way ahead of time, and that's where they got the information from it. But I still thought it was called like the New Jedi Order or New Jedi Order. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking they're gonna use the new Jedi Order tag. Part of me hopes they don't use that either.
yeah,
But they're probably going to. So what are we gonna do?
yeah. What can you do, man?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's
Just make your
just
own.
yep. That's I mean, basically,
That's
Darth Jar Jar.
That's what I'm assuming that like he might be like referencing that.
I hope you're booing the Ray movie and not
Darth
Ahmed
Jar Jar.
Best or Darth Jar Jar. Oh man, yeah, man, I don't know. Well, let's talk about another franchise.
Dude.
I just want to hear some initial thoughts. I don't want to hear anything about the story. I don't want to hear anything about I don't want to hear anything about the yeah, I don't want to hear anything about the characters or story or anything like that. I want to know, movie experience. How was it? What did it live up to your expectations? Did it fall short, or was it like, I mean, I want to
So
know.
my
A lot of
biggest
people
gripe
are
with the
praising it.
yeah, and I know it's been doing like insanely well on Rotten Tomatoes, which definitely makes sense.
Okay.
Like with the first movie, my biggest gripe was like it just felt at times felt really slow, really
Yeah.
slowly paced. This movie kind of cut that out. Like there's definitely some slow parts in it, but it really like builds to the story. Like there was no point where I was like with the first movie, my wife fell asleep 3 times. This one she stayed awake the entire time.
Wow,
So like
that's crazy. I love Dune 1, but it's not for everyone.
it,
I get it's a lot of world
it's
building.
yeah, it's
So,
definitely like a movie that you can fall asleep to if you're not like 100% in it.
yeah.
But this one like kept me intrigued the entire time, and like
Cool.
when I thought it was done, it really wasn't. Like when I thought like how are they gonna top this? They
They just kept going.
yeah, and I did not expect it. I did feel a little like it felt a little like the ending felt. I don't want to say like rushed. It's not rushed, but it felt. I don't know. Really made me like wanting more because it's kind of like abrupt.
Well, and so Dune Part 1 had an abrupt ending too, though, if you think about it.
I wouldn't say this abrupt. Like it's very like boom, we're done.
Interesting.
After like a giant payoff.
He's doing the third movie, supposedly.
Yeah, and it's like the last one. So I hope
Messiah,
the movie's like
yeah.
3 hours long.
Okay.
I will say like
How long was it? Was it long? Was it like
2 hours 49 minutes?
Okay, that's not.
I think
too
the first
bad.
one was like 2:46, so it was not too big of a difference. But
Okay.
it definitely felt shorter just because of how things moved along in this movie. In a good way,
Right
not in like a bad way. They picked up the pace when they needed to.
Awesome.
Um,
So without, because I don't, once again, I don't want to get too much into details here at all, but because I'm like 2 days away from seeing it now, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see it. I'm
this movie,
really
everyone
excited.
dies. Like that's what, like.
I'm really excited to talk about it with you too, but I really want to know from because
Lay it on
Dune
me.
inspired Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I want to look at it from a Star Wars angle, and I'm not going to go into this movie with a Star Wars angle, obviously, but I want to know now that you've seen both of them. Do you think this is a franchise that could compete with Star Wars in a way? I mean, I see Dune Part 1, and I think it's a little more art house than pulp science fiction, like Star Wars is, obviously. But from what I do know of the story from reading and whatnot, there is a lot more action and a lot more, it's a mystical elements later on.
Star Wars
Do you
compete.
think it can't compete?
No.
You're saying
I don't think Dune could be a 12-movie franchise. Like I think after like 3, like it probably should be done, just because like I don't want someone else to come and make it and it just be so much worse than what Dennis has done.
True, but yeah. So they are doing, and you might not know this, but HBO is doing a Benny Gesserit show. Denis Villeneuve is producing it. So they're already starting the talks of spinning off stuff from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if he has a hand in it, I'm all for it. But if it's like what they did with the sequels, how they kind of just went their own way with it, like I don't think you
Yeah.
could do that with this story.
Okay.
And like I think like Dune is over here, Star Wars is over here, Star Trek's up here. Like there's I don't know. I would say Rebel Moon has a lot more of the like Star Wars feel to it
Sure.
than
Okay.
Dune. Like
Okay.
Dune has more of like an Andor feel to things.
Yeah.
Well, at least this movie anyway. Like it
I
definitely
guess I'm
felt.
just kind of curious to, like, if fans are unsatisfied with the way Star Wars are going, if Dune starts to ramp up, we know there's going to be a third movie. Do you think you could see fans maybe pivoting towards that franchise? I mean, I don't know if they have they don't have the iconic characters that
No.
Star Wars has had, and Darth Vader and Luke and all that. Even Ahsoka, I would say now, but in Mando and Grogu, but so there's definitely a different commercial feel to it, I would say, but I'm really just, as fans of sci-fi, because I am a fan of Star Trek, I'm a fan of Star Wars, I'm a fan of Dune. I'm just kind of curious if the second movie brought it to a whole new level of like, okay, this is like the sci-fi franchise now.
I'm gonna say no, just because it feels like it's its own thing. Like
okay,
so like
that's
me,
good though.
For me, like with Sons of Anarchy, I didn't really want another show off of that because I feel like that ended perfectly and like it fits as its own show. But having a bunch of spin-offs and tie-ins doesn't fit for me. Like The Walking Dead is a prime example of like too much shit going on.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
And like Mayans MC was like okay, but like Sons of Anarchy, like okay, like it's arguable that not Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad. It's not like that feeling too. Like this, like it's its own thing, and you can't really like. I mean, I don't know. I didn't go into this thinking it was be about Star Wars. It was more of like, honestly, in a weird way, like the Book of Boba Fett storyline. Like, at least like Spice being in Book of Boba Fett. That was like the only thing that reminded me of Star Wars. Like that was like the only thing that was like, oh, like that's I could see it. But that's about it.
Like, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think Star Wars, maybe from George's original vision it's taken it in a different direction a little bit, because he was inspired by Dune originally, and you can see it with the way, A New Hope talks about the Emperor and the Galactic Senate.
Hello? Hello?
You hear me?
Your camera's frozen. I can hear you, but your camera's frozen for me.
Whoa.
Oh, there you go.
We back?
Yeah, we're back.
Crazy. I don't know what happened. I
would definitely say yeah, but at the same time, like, there's so many different things to this, like organization. Like, it's like, because like in Rebel Moon, like it's called like the Empire. Like in this, like it's not even like it doesn't even make me think of it like that. Like it makes me think like this is like almost like Man of Steel in a way. Like they're coming to invade this planet for some reason.
Gotcha.
And it has more of like, I don't know. Like when I look at like Arrakis, I don't look at it like Tatooine. Like it's not. It doesn't have that feel. Like it has its own mystical feel to it.
Yeah,
it's not the same as Star Wars. Like if
that's cool.
I don't know. Like I feel like if Ahsoka came into the show, she can get her ass wiped instantly. Like if she had to fight like one of the worms, like not gonna stand a chance.
Yeah. That's true. I guess there's like an ecology to Arrakis that doesn't exist in any real Star Wars planet that we've seen, because they're more focused on Star Wars is more character driven, I guess, than like world driven.
And this is more like world and like planetary driven. Like
that's cool. Yeah. And Star Trek is more science driven. So I think you're right. So all three, I mean, all three franchises are their own and they can stand on their own. I already see people online just being like, "Oh, this is what we should get with Star Wars." But like, I think it's okay for right. Like, I think it's okay for Star Wars to kind of be its own thing. I think about even something like Mando season 3, right? And I know, certain aspects of it weren't very good or whatever, but one
Yeah.
arc I really liked was like the pirate arc.
Yeah.
Like that shit is like super like space opera pulpy, and it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's cool. Like that's okay because that's what Star Wars is. I don't think I would ever see anything like that in Dune and be like, oh,
You couldn't
cool.
do that
Like
with Dune.
some crazy space pirates showed up and
Yeah.
like they think they're gonna like take over this town. Like, no, that ain't gonna happen in Dune. So yeah.
In a way, like Dune has a very like killing them softly kind of like feel to it.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't like.
Interesting.
I'm not even saying like what Dune 2 like just as like in general, just like the whole entire franchise like as a whole, like
Yeah.
it's very grounded.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it almost feels like a distant future of our own
Even though
existence
it's like
versus
10,000
like
years, like
yeah, yeah.
it still feels like home. It doesn't feel like we're off in some distant galaxy like with Star Wars.
Yeah. The Star Wars definitely is it's so fantasy-esque, I think, that it does feel like very foreign and alien, which is good.
Dune
But
like
yeah,
is like
that's
Mad
something that
Max.
makes it unique. Yeah, right?
It has that like Mad Max feel, but like not almost like not from the movies, but like there's a Mad Max game that came out in like 2015 that I played, and it goes over like the world and like
Yeah.
I don't know, it just feels very like world driven, and it's also like covered in sand, so like that kind of also helps.
Right,
But
right,
like
yeah.
it just feels like there's like it's just the fight for survival, not the fight to like go to some different place in the galaxy. I don't know, like it feels there's more weight to it. Because like someone we can have one story in Star Wars and someone die and then we can go to a different planet and there's 12 more stories. With this one, this is
Yeah.
the main one and this is the only one.
It's interesting. I'm reading the book right now. I'm not even past like the first movie, but I am kind of curious to know, if in the further books and stuff, if things kind of move away from Arrakis, and you don't have to say if you know already, but
No, I mean,
I'm just kind of curious. I don't know how much the rest of the universe or the galaxy in the Dune kind of universe plays a role. Like in Star Wars, the galaxy's huge, dude. There's so much.
it feels so small in this. Like it feels so
Yeah,
tiny.
right. Because there's only like a few important pieces
Yeah.
moving around. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it felt like that in Dune Part One. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because like I don't know, like Arrakis just feels like so distant from everything else. Like, there's nothing around it. It doesn't like, but obviously too like I guess there is like Star Wars elements because there's like the twin suns, but it's like three moons instead.
right. I know, right?
But like it doesn't even feel like that in a way. Like oh, the cinematography is beautiful. That's I gotta say that too. And
I mean,
honestly,
great,
like
dude. Greg Fraser did it. So
yeah,
Greg Fraser is the man. We know this at this point. We need. I really hope he comes back for the Mando movie.
I do too. And honestly, like
That would be huge.
Javier Bardem, easily my
Oh
favorite
yeah.
part of this movie.
Cool.
Easily my favorite
Okay.
part.
Good to know.
And honestly too, like Austin Butler, like it's really hard for me to still not see Elvis and not still hear Elvis. But he was honestly like a little bit terrifying at times. Like
yeah, he's Fade Ratha. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, dude, I'm pumped, man. I cannot wait to chat with you about it next week. So, and like talk about details and stuff. I'm really,
Yeah.
really excited about it.
Just kind of how like it ended off. Almost wish they had like a post credit scene because there isn't one. Like,
Yeah.
like
Did you
one.
wait just in case?
No, I looked it up. I always look it up.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I'm not gonna sit here for 10 minutes. Like I can be home in 4 minutes. So like,
I never look it up. That's so funny. I never like think to look that up. I always just kind of wait.
I always waited there for the longest time. Like, and then I realized like I should just look it up. Like I'm gonna find it out in 30 seconds compared to waiting
Right.
10 minutes.
That's a good point.
But no, like it goes from being like really well paced, and then it's just like the ending just hits. Like it's like across the Spider-Verse, but like times two with how quickly like the ending hits.
Wow.
But it hits in a good way. If that makes sense.
I don't even know what that means, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
All right. What's going on,
Tony's here. Tony's here. Welcome, Tony. He said, "Did you guys put out a notice of this?" I wasn't notified. I did like when it went live. So I don't know. I'm sorry, man. We it was a last minute like go live kind of
Yeah.
thing. So we're working around our own schedules, and we're just trying to keep up with this once a week. So yeah, sorry about that. If well, I wish we could get on a little bit more solid schedule, but it's like, dude, it's tough these days.
Yeah.
I've been super busy with work, and you got your own stuff going on too. So
Yeah, every day is different. Like, I'll think it's gonna be clear, then I get
right.
slammed.
Yeah, I know,
Like
right? That's kind of the
today, I
way it
had something
goes.
going on. Like every 2 hours, there's something happening.
Yeah.
But Tony, we did have a question for you, and that's like, is Mandalorian and Grogu gonna be filming in California near you, like where like the Ahsoka was filming and stuff, or is this somewhere different?
Yeah, let us know, Tony. He says, I'm having issues. You're not the only one. I don't get notified. It's not your problem.
Sounds
Well,
good.
I understand. But what I like to do, Tony, is get the notice out earlier in the day. And that way,
Yeah.
people can kind of say, oh, they're going to be streaming later. So, yeah, hopefully he says help. I don't know how to help.
Yeah.
I don't have the answers, unfortunately. But you tell us, you help us.
Your volume wasn't up?
He asked a question again. Okay, so is the Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be filming in California? We know this already. Do you believe it's going to be filming close to your house, or where you live? I guess I guess
So,
you
I,
know.
guess
Who
I
lives
thought he
there.
said it was Pinewood Studios. I don't know, it's somewhere close by his
Oh, okay.
house that
Right
they
on.
were filming for Ahsoka and stuff.
Right on. Yeah,
Um,
you need to. He says yes.
oh shit.
Remember to get notified. I remembered.
Do you have memberships up now?
No.
I was gonna say, I was like, when did you put those up? Like, I thought you would
He's
have told
saying
me.
like he's saying like I remembered. I think
Oh,
remember to get notified. I remembered. I
I
thought
thought it
it
was in
was in
England.
England.
Something came out a couple days ago that they're gonna be doing filming in California. Like, it'll start.
Yeah, this movie will
Manhattan
be
Beach is all
filmed.
volume because all it said was California, so I wasn't too sure if it was Manhattan Beach, or where. It just says in California.
Can you Google it? Because it actually did come out. I think. Let's see
Where
here.
is
Mandalorian movie
uh?
filming.
So it's slated to be the first ever Star Wars feature film that's filmed in California, thanks to the state's film and television tax credit program.
Yeah, but we don't know like what studio or anything. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Tony, if you're living close to it, I don't know. June rolls around. You should sneak on over there
Hop
and
the
see if you
fence.
can catch a glimpse of anything. If see some activity, maybe you'll even see Pedro. I don't know. So
yeah, all right then.
like, I don't know. Let's see. If they shoot in LA, they need to film at the Rock where Kirk fought the Gorn. Yeah.
Be funny
The
callback.
classic
Like,
fight scene.
there are a bunch of studios. Oh, I bet there's a bunch. Then, like with
yeah, there are a bunch of
like
studios.
Universal, Hollywood, you name it.
Yep.
Tribeca. No, Tribeca's in New York. Never mind. But yeah, there's so much out there too. I just didn't know like if you've heard anything at all. Just because I know usually like you find out like if Book of Boba Fett's filming or like or like usually you're on the know with those things.
Well, and outdoor gravel pits for large sets. Well, I think there's going to be some outdoor stuff. Hopefully, like I hope they do it
I
the way
really hope
Ahsoka
so.
was filmed, because that looked good for the most part. So
I'm mostly too with Dune, like sometimes it's hard for me to take Timothy Chalamet like seriously, like, and Don't Look Up, like I couldn't take him seriously at all.
dude, don't even say that to me, because I already have that issue, and I don't need to have that issue going into this
Well,
movie.
no, I was gonna say I fully took him seriously. Like I genuinely was like I believe that like I wasn't looking at Timothy Chalamet. I was looking at this character.
Yeah,
Like it didn't
Paul.
feel like corny. Because sometimes all I think about when I think of Timothy Chalamet is the SNL sketch with Pete Davidson. Like
I know, man. He's like he's a cornball, dude. He's like,
but like he does like this movie is so like well with like being serious about it. Like he doesn't joke around once. I don't even think I see him smile once in the movie.
I mean, he's good in Interstellar and stuff like that too. He's obviously a great actor. I'm not trying to.
I mean,
throw shade
I
or
don't.
anything,
I haven't
but
seen Wonka, so I mean, if you saw Wonka, that might be changing your perception of things. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that it's like I can't take it, dude. It's something about him. Like I don't know.
Johnny Depp,
He's
like love Johnny Depp, but that didn't hit for me. It's gonna be Gene Wilder.
Yeah, Gene Wilder all the way. Yep, 100%. Greater J says, "Hello, I would have come earlier if I knew this was on." Hey, welcome. Better late than never. Sorry, we are like at an hour now, probably wrapping here shortly. But Tony says that the LA newspaper, the LA Times, has shooting locations and dates, so it's easy to find them.
Damn, they're spoiling their own stuff, dude. Like that's I feel like with like New York, with them putting up like the signs for like out of the kitchen filming from like July to like or like July like the 12th of February to like the 16th. Like, all right, so Daredevil Born Against are filming,
right?
And then they don't lock off the street, so you see them putting up like the paintings of Wilson Fisk on the like sides of the buildings.
Well, I think they can only do so much, so you know what I mean.
I mean, I just
there's
feel
gonna
like,
be prying eyes no matter what.
I mean, I just feel like so much of Daredevil Born Again has already been shown on Twitter. Like I feel like this didn't lock down the set enough. But at the same time, it might be all just for them to let us know, like, hey, we're doing it right.
I mean, it gets hype. I mean, enough pictures swirling around gets the hype going, obviously. I will say I really, I've been bad in the past about reading leaks and stuff. I did pretty good with Ahsoka to where I didn't hear really too many leaks, but Kenobi, dude, that whole show freaking leaked, and I knew way too much about it going into it, which could have soured my opinion on a little bit. I really, really want to try my best to stay away from the Mando and Grogu leaks, because this is going to be our first like film in a while for Star Wars. So it could
honestly,
be.
I never got Kenobi like leaked for me. I guess the biggest one for me was like Multiverse of Madness, but like Daredevil Born Again, like having like set photos. You're always gonna say it was something with Infinity War, so I'm kind of like expecting that. But for Mando and Grogu, like at least even like a Mandalorian, we never see like set photos from it. At least
that's true.
Anyway.
We
like,
never see.
They lock that shit down compared to like Marvel. So
yeah,
I feel like we're gonna go into it with pretty much nothing that we know of. Like Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire, the entire script got leaked on Reddit 3 months ago. I read a bunch of the like key like plot points. Like I know what's gonna happen for like 90% of the movie.
Yeah,
but see,
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm still gonna go see it. You're still getting my money, but like I don't know. Legendary doesn't do good with keeping things under wraps either, though.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't look into leaks like that stuff too much. I just, because I'm so involved in the Star Wars community, they kind of just, when they happen, I see them, and I don't always want to. So
that's how it is with Twitter. Like for me, with like Marvel stuff, like some like me looking at constant like Marvel and Star Wars news, like I'll just be scrolling and it'll just be right there. I'm like, oh shit. Well,
yeah.
Most of it, if not all, outdoor set. Most, if not all, the outdoor set shoot. Sorry, I can't even say that right. Street shoots for the Mando is done outside in that same area. It's multi-purpose. That's probably fair. They probably just have like little like backdrops and stuff.
Well, let us know if you see anything. Timothée Chalamet did a good job in the Netflix Henry the Fifth. Other than that, my mind goes to 1776. I want to. Is Henry the Fifth? Is that the movie called The King? Because the movie's actually really freaking good. It's got Robert Pattinson in it. If that's the movie you're referring to, let me know, Clark, because that movie is amazing. And I also want to say that's the one. That's who he plays in that, Henry V.
Oh, is this Hal? I don't know. Hang on.
That movie, The King, I highly recommend it. And the dude who did the score for Andor, Nicholas Bartel, did the score for The King, and that is one of the best scores in a long time. That movie is sick. I like that movie a lot. Good call out, Clark. The large sound studios are Sony, Fox, Universal, Paramount, blah blah. But Lucasfilm has gone to Vancouver for some shots.
Vancouver's used for so much, like so many things too, though. Like, if it's not Vancouver, it's Atlanta or like LA.
Yeah, a lot of Atlanta stuff these days too. Definitely see that a lot. It's interesting.
I'm very like with Dune 2, I'm very pleased with the sound design too. Like I don't know, maybe this is just like the Marcus theaters having like the Dolby sound thing, but
well, I mean,
like I was vibrating through the entire like theater. Like I generally felt like I was in like the movie.
yeah, like really immersed you. That's
Yeah.
cool. I mean, the sound design was incredible in the first one, so
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I saw that one in theaters, and sheesh, when they were like in the dust storm, dude, and the helicopter thing, like that was crazy.
I'll say too, even like Zendaya was like at like peak performance too. Like there's nothing, there's no like performances that was like, damn, that was kind of corny. Like all of them are like on the spot. Christopher Walken is very much just playing Christopher Walken, but that's what he does in literally.
He's always Christopher
like the
Walken,
rundown,
dude. Yeah,
like that's just pure Christopher Walken. Like
has he ever not been Christopher Walken?
But he doesn't like he tries to like to hide like the New York accent in a way. So like it like I don't know, like it feels like Christopher Walken just like walked up on the set and was just like there for that day. But
oh my god,
that's how he always feels.
Yeah,
so,
I've never been able to see him as anyone else than himself. Obviously, you know what I mean. So
yeah, watching Batman Returns, I could never take him seriously in that movie.
Yeah,
like like I don't know, like who let Ziggy Stardust on set? Dude? Like I don't know, it feels weird.
The only historical inaccuracy in The King was Robert Pattinson gets killed. Well, spoiler.
I mean, 2016. Got plenty of time.
No, it's great. Did Christopher Walken bring a cowbell?
No, I never heard him be like, yeah, no. He never like did that at all. So
that's good at least.
His lines were very like he's saying exactly what's on the paper and that's it.
Interesting. That temple for the initial episode 1. Here is that. I don't know what that means.
I got no clue.
I don't know either. All right. Well, we are over an hour in. I do think we should probably adjourn here, and we got another Bad Batch episode next week. We're going to talk Dune 2 in depth. We're going to get in the weeds on Dune 2 because I want to discuss it. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. So unless you got anything else.
Yeah. So Bad Batch, the next episode is called The Return. So is that going to be as well? Yeah, I'm saying like, is it just going to be Crosshair, or do you think like Rex and Echo are finally going to show up now too? Ooh. Or do you think that they're all going to get together, like Crosshair, Rex, and Echo, and the Batch, as well as like I don't know. I can see The Return being so many different things though too. Like
it could be someone like we don't expect at all.
Like it could be Ventress, for example. Like
yeah, it could be.
The Return of what exactly? Like that's just called The Return. So like it's very like Mando season 2 like episode names. Like it's very, like,
yeah. The Rescue.
Yeah. Like
right.
But I don't know. I just didn't know if you had any speculation for like what that could mean, or like what I think we're gonna get all that.
You know, my immediate thought is okay, the return of Crosshair to the group. But I kind of like that it could be Ventress, like because she certainly is making a return from her death, her supposed death. So yeah,
I can't even say like I wouldn't think that they would do it early, because look what they did with Anakin in episode 5. They could have just waited to the very end to show Anakin, but they put him in the very middle. I could definitely see them like teasing her return in the return, like her being there.
Yeah,
but then like showing up throughout the season, like kind of like how Fennec did with season 2. Like she just randomly showed up throughout the story.
Right.
And we know she's gonna be in it, so we haven't seen her at all either.
Yeah, I don't think the return is her. I don't think that's.
Could the return be Cad Bane?
Could be Cad Bane. Could even be Boba.
He was never in it though, so why would he be returning?
Return to the story.
That's fair.
I don't know. You know, I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing names out there, but yeah.
I mean, what if it's Sid? Like I don't know. Could be them going back to like the Pabu. Like, it could be that too. Like it could be literally anything. Now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm thinking mostly it's gonna be Rex and Echo reuniting.
It could be Sid. It could be Sid. I could see that. That would be disappointing.
I don't want it to be Sid. Like, I'm thinking about that. Like, damn, that really sucks. Like, I want to be done with her, dude.
I know. I kind of like the fact that she's out of the story right now, so I kind of hope that that's the case that continues. So, Return of the Jedi.
I mean, yeah, Ventress,
yeah,
all of the above. Yeah, it could be so many things.
Definitely, but
we'll have to wait to find out.
I guess so. Yeah, we will try this around the same time next week. Definitely going for Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. And yeah, we'll be chatting about episode 5. We'll see who the return is of. Mind you, the return, if it's Imperial focused, I really hope it's not Tech's return.
I do too.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. I don't know if you were on last week. Is it Great RJ or is it Greater J?
I always thought it was RJ, but I could be wrong. I've always just said RJ.
I think it's just RJ now that I'm reading it again. We talked about this last week a little bit. He was not on. So we did talk about this last week, and we'll touch on it again. There are some leaks that suggest that he might be alive, and I'm not for it. I'm against it personally. I'm against the continually, making all these dead characters alive. Ventress is one of them. But
her story's not done just yet.
Yeah. It's
come on.
We'll see how it's pulled off. Maul is the best to ever do it in terms of being killed off and coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah,
it's not though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you, RJ. I hope it's not Tech's return, but for some reason they just can't seem to leave anyone dead in this franchise. So
I mean, the match is definitely not surviving. We already got that one for sure. I mean, the only thing I could see possibly being is like Wrecker and Omega being like the last two together.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be pretty sad, but
at the same time, I feel like he's gonna get like the Paz treatment.
I think he is too. I think definitely better. Definitely better for him. Thursday's better for me. We'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Tony. Take care, guys. Looking forward to our project getting rocking and rolling. I agree 100%. I've said this a few times. Apologize, guys, for falling a little bit behind on stuff. I'm trying to do the sound design right now to go with the mock-up that Ben did. And once I get the sound design locked in, then we can really start keying in on animation. So it's just a matter of time because we are rolling, but slowly, as you know. Again, as I've stated quite a few times before, if he does return, then I think Jack 14 is the way to go. That'll be very fan service, but that's the only way I can see it being reasonable. Yeah, Jack 14, that's the droid thing, right? I think we talked about this before. Yeah. I'm gonna pull it up one more time. I'm just curious. Oh, this is
the force sensitive clone.
Yeah. Whoa.
But I don't think that they would go that far with it though. I don't think that Tech would be that serious. If anything, they could see that. They're going for Omega. Yeah.
Forces clone and Lego. Yeah. I just hope he's not alive personally, but we'll see.
I mean, I think we got that with Omega at this point.
Right.
With her M count being as mysterious as it is.
Jack 14 was canonized.
I mean, so is Mr. Bones.
Mr. Bones is canonized. Yes, we do know that. Yes. Yes. I'm all for Mr. Bones' return. 100%.
Minch, sadly, is Legends fully, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck's the name of that clone? As in, the sequels. I can't remember his name. There's one clone that, Kix.
The sequels?
Yeah, Kix. So he was, frozen, in cryosleep. And his ship crashed on some planet in the sequel trilogy, and he comes out of there he's still the clone from the Clone Wars. He's the last surviving clone.
I've never heard of this. I'll have to look into that. That's interesting. I have no idea. No idea. All right, guys. We're gonna call it. We're gonna call it here. Right. We will be back next week. Let's aim for Thursday, just so everyone who's here knows. We'll try Thursday again. How about that?
Sounds
good.
How does
that sound? All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, everyone.